Good afternoon. How the heck is everybody? Welcome to another Surf Report. I'll be your host this evening, the Big Kahuna, Jason T. Smith. How the heck is everybody doing? Welcome to a September Surf Report. Nothing like getting it under the wire mere hours before the month is over. But, I was doing a lot of last minute research for all y'all. And so I've compiled it into one big, awesome report. And with me, I actually have Vanna White, aka Stacy Smith. We're going to be doing a thrift haul right in the middle of this from our last two stops at Buffalo Exchange to demonstrate the kind of stuff that we have found recently, showing you what we paid and what it should sell for. And a few pieces are so rare, I can't find them anywhere. So I'm going to show you some similar products, but with good keywords and good pictures. I think ours will sell for more. All right. So sit back, relax. My mom's playing cards tonight. I'm like, you never play cards on Monday. I know she's in, but she's playing cards. I'm like, what? I did the report on Monday because you. Huh? What'd you say?
She's multitasking.
Oh yeah, multitasking. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, maximizing your Buffalo Exchange experience. That's a smooth way to start. Woo! All right. So the unique, awesome thing about Buffalo Exchange is that you can hit the wrong button. There we go. You can buy, sell, and trade. Oh, look at my lovely assistant there. Very nice. So it's kind of like music stores. You don't often find other places that you can source. You can also earn money for your stuff. So here are two of the early pictures of the Buffalo Exchange. So early, they didn't have color film yet. There we go. So I want to give you a brief history of the Buffalo Exchange because it's pretty cool. It's one of those success stories that, we all are looking to be that next success. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting the wrong button. So Kirsten Block was a thrifter, and in 1974, she wanted to build a better mousetrap. So Kirsten came from Europe. I think she was from Sweden. She ended up in the University of Arizona and thoroughly enjoyed thrifting, but really hated the picking through all the crap to find the good stuff. So she was thinking about it and thought, well, I could open a store and do a much better thing. So she wanted to build a business model where the shop would have hand-picked treasures. So when you walk into a Buffalo Exchange, it's all good stuff. Now, it's not necessarily all good stuff that we would want, but you're not, there's no, Jones Family Barbecue 2014 with a ketchup stain on it. That's the kind of stuff you will still see at a thrift store. You will not see at Buffalo Exchange. So she rented a 400 square foot space in Tucson. She chose the word Buffalo because it invoked the American West where she was living, and Exchange because, of course, that's what you are doing. You're exchanging this for that. Still owned and operated by her and her daughter. Privately owned. They now have 50 stores. And I think I saw she's worth like $81 million. So when she started with that little 400 square foot thing, she borrowed a lot of money and she was off and running. Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead. 50 stores across the nation. So there's that picture. There's a picture of her on the left from the early days. And then that's her on the right with her daughter, who still run it today. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool success story. But the good thing about their success, it also would breed success for us. So it's a little weird, though. So they've been in business for 40 years. And, it's, run down the left side of the country, a little bit south, like two random ones in the middle there, and then run up the East Coast with a couple smattering Midwest.
It's just like going around the edge.
Yeah, but there's nothing in Florida. So it's a very weird path. But that's why I decided to ask you guys before I did this webinar if you live near one, travel near one. And it was a pretty resounding, like 80% of you like, yeah, I'm near one or could be near one. I wouldn't say let's drive 6 hours just for this, but if you're sourcing other things and there's one nearby, you are most definitely going to find cool stuff. All right, so we're going to break it down into two parts: shopping at Buffalo Exchange, and then, of course, selling to Buffalo Exchange. And being the giant nerd that I am, I was standing in our Buffalo Exchange here in Vegas, and I drew a map, and then I come home and made it really fancy. So here is what I drew. See how illegible that is? And this is what I turned it into. Ta-da! So the two white things on the far left are your front doors. You walk in the right door is where you take your clothes to the trade counter or the sell counter. You walk in the left door, that is the purchase counter. In between there is the seasonal stuff. So right now it is all Halloween costumes. Back in the summertime, it was all like muumuus, Hawaiian dresses, summer dress dresses. Pretty soon it'll be, Christmas wear, stuff like that. Right next to those is where you'll find all the purses and jewelry. And then throughout the first half of the store, it's the men's section. So down the right wall past the trade counter is the men's shoes and shorts. Well, there's more than one short. There are shorts. Four round tops of men's shirts, all broken down by size. There's a couple for short sleeve and one for long sleeve, I think. Then the men's jeans and pants are in the middle, and then 4 racks of T-shirts, or maybe even 5. Men's sweatshirts gets a rack, and men's jacket. Along the wall, you'll see the women's shoe section, the women's shorts, the dressing room. Now, if you look at that gray star, that's the go-back rack. So just like a go-back rack at any thrift store, they don't want you just coming back there and digging in it. But if you see something, I always go, hey, can I see that thing sitting there? And they're always happy to oblige. Then as you can see, it's women's tops, blouses, sweaters, jackets, and then across the far wall, women's overalls and dresses with the jeans right next to it. Then across the back wall, women's skirts, vintage hats, belts, and scarves. Now, every record exchange, every Buffalo Exchange is set up differently. And like I've been in one that's 2 stories, so this isn't the exact how it's set up. But just to give you an idea, so if you're going to walk in one for the first time, you're not completely like, where's everything? This is kind of the flow when it's a normal sized store on one floor. When it's 2 floors and there's a couple of really tiny ones, they're a little more cramped. But this is kind of the normal flow. You are keeping an eye on the questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, would you please, till we get to your...
I'm not on YouTube, I'm just on...
Right, so you can see the comments right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to do with you?
Say, hey, there's a great question.
Angela has a question about going to Chicago.
All right, so Angela has a question already. Can we go to the one in Chicago during Ecom? Yeah, I got to look at my schedule because I have to leave Ecom early because I have to go speak in Palm Springs, but we can absolutely go a little group outing. All right, so this is took a picture from the front of the store a couple of days ago. Let's play Where's Waldo. We'll play Where's Stacy on her phone right now. As you can see in the front, there is the seasonal stuff. It is all the costumes. The men's is through the middle. Running down the side is the shoes, and then the ladies is in the back. And boom, here we are in the back shooting forward. So as you can see, I did a pretty good job on my little map. I'm going to pat myself on my back so hard I break my arm. So there's good shots of the whole store. This wasn't from an earlier stop in the summer, but as you can see, the seasonal stuff wasn't Halloween costumes. It was Hawaiian dresses and summer type dresses. And this was a stupid picture I took of me, but then I realized you can kind of see the rack. So as you can see, it says tees, extra large. So those are extra large men's tees. And besides having the shoes against the wall, they also always have shoes on top of the racks. And that's where they tend to put a lot of the cool shoes, which we'll talk about in a moment. So when you're looking at the racks, make sure you actually pick your head up a little bit and look straight on the shoes on the rack. You're going around in a circle. All right, so now I'm going to give you just a bunch of tips that will be labeled with that big yellow tip in the upper left-hand corner. Oh, let me turn that off. First tip is understanding the tags marked sale. So here we have a badass llama sweater, marked sale, a really cool Volcom State of California shirt, a vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweatshirt, a really early Tory Richard shirt. I don't even know what that middle one is. Oh, it's Paradise. It's a brand I only have bought 2 of. Paradise of the Pacific. That's what it is. Ooh. And then a Star Wars Under Armour shirt. And last but not least, that's a modern polo shirt, but look how badass those buttons are. They're square, like pearl snap buttons, diamond pearl snap buttons, and a vintage Hawaiian togs. Now, when you see the sale sign, you should be very excited because anything marked sale, the 1st through the 15th of the month equals 25% off. So if you happen to be in the store on the 15th or the 14th and you live nearby, I would wait. And if you luck out and it's there on the 16th through the end of the month equals 50% off. So those shirts I just showed you with the tags, I took those pictures because all those items were there 2 or 3 days prior to the 16th. I took the pictures, went back to see if they were still there. And every time I've done that to kind of prep for this webinar, I would say about 75% of the stuff that I took pictures of that I wanted to come back for was still there. So yeah, a couple people bought things, but on the 16th, if you live near one, I'm there at opening. I walk right in, and I've been in recently, so I know where the sale stuff was. But even if you didn't, just walk right in, and every sale thing is 50% off, and that's awesome because like Savers and their color coding, they want to move stuff.
And sometimes they have all sale racks. Other times the sale stuff is just smattered in.
Yeah. So Stacy said sometimes they have a women's sale rack. I've never seen a men's sale rack. And so they'll actually fill that rack with sale stuff, but then they will also have the sale stuff on every rack of everything, shoes included. So you just got to look for it. So it's not all in one spot. All right. Next tip is they always have cool shoes and often new with tags. And just to give you some examples, I'm not the biggest shoe seller, but I find majority of my cool shoes right there. So these are brand new with tags, Adidas Stan Smith Pharrell Williams tennis shoes. They have the new with tags. The bottoms were kind of dirty. They would need a little cleaning. At $32, there wasn't enough meat on the bone, but those were just sitting there brand new, waiting for, if you're a size 12 and you like these Adidas, bam, $32 will be a good deal for you. And here's some other Adidas called Superstars, again, new with tags. Here's some cool ones I have found that weren't new with tags, but even if you don't know shoes, I would hope these two kind of pair would catch your eye and make you stop and look them up. And here's some current things I have listed. I found these Vans Disney Alice in Wonderland shoes up for sale right now. These Converse, which were Stacy found they were samples. We can't find this pattern ever being sold, so we think they were samples that were never ever sold. And as you can see, fun and cool shoes. And Jane says they didn't know they had new tags. Yeah, I'll find it in the clothing sometimes, but really tons of shoes, even the girls section too, right? Yeah, tons of stuff. So, even sometimes like those Disney Alice in Wonderland, they priced them at like $25, I think. And I'm going to get like $75 to $100. So I was like, I'm cool with paying $25 for it. They can put things on hold for 24 hours. So if you're a little light on cash, or you're like, oh, shoot, I should have brought something in to trade in, or maybe your phone ain't working, you want to go home and do some research, put it on hold for 24 hours. They give you that 24 hours, use it.
They're on the 15th. Back to 16th.
Yeah, you know what? I've never tried to do that. I wonder if you can hold some stuff on the 15th and pick it up on the 16th. Let's see who the first one to try it and see if it works. I forget what Buffalo Exchange this is, but just thought I'd throw it in for the little 24-hour graphic. Next tip is check out the stuff behind the counter. It's where they keep the high-end stuff. So this is a picture from Phoenix, one of the Phoenix Buffalo Exchange. And I don't know off the top of my head what those purses and those boots are. And as you can see, if you look to the right, you also see a lot more boots. Those are all the high-end stuff. So the only way to really see it is to say, hey, can I see that? The way the counter works at Vegas, I can kind of stand behind about a quarter of the counter because there's some other stuff back there that you're able to look at. So I peek and poke at the shoes because they always have a full set of shelves of high-end shoes. And they'll have cool leather coats and stuff back there. So oftentimes the clothes will just be hanging, one after another. So you really can't tell what it is. All you're seeing is the sleeves. But hey, they're there to sell stuff. So just say, hey, can I see all the hanging stuff behind there? All right, the next tip. Everything on the mannequins are for sale, and the staff is happy to undress them for you. Some stores will not undress their mannequins. Philly Age Thrift in Philadelphia, if you see something on a mannequin you like, they will take it off at the end of the month. They change their display in the window every month. But if you walked up to this Buffalo Exchange and you're like, oh my God, I must have that T-shirt that is underneath the hip pack going across the chest, they will happily undress it for you. And I've bought a lot of good stuff. I'm going to show you a couple things today that came directly off of mannequins. Oh, Sabrina's going to Ventura tomorrow. All right, Sabrina, so you got to go to the Tiki Bar too. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, the Ventura Buffalo Exchange always has amazingly good stuff. Always. I love that one. I think Stacy likes it
That's
too.
the one that heads downstairs, right? Is that his basement?
Oh,
Or
no.
But yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Oops, let me get Sabrina off of there. Next tip, look up, especially if you're short like Stacy. Cool things are way above your head. So, see, when I say up, see all those shirts up there? They're for sale too. And some associate is going to need to get the little hook and pull them down. But you see the denim, the cool denim shirt there? Yeah, I'm going to show that to you in a minute. I'm always looking at this stuff. Now, a lot of times they have things that are priced right up there in terms of this is where usually the cooler stuff is, the rare stuff, the more expensive stuff. For instance, this Black Sabbath 1993 tour shirt, $180, and it's running about $200 online. So they have it priced pretty well accordingly. But I'm always going to look up and see what the price is. I have this. I looked up one day and saw this Castaways Hotel and Casino Las Vegas gym bag, and it was only like $14, and so worth it to sell. And I don't know if I've listed it or decided to keep it and use it. But if you're not looking up, again, if you're short, you might miss all these things. So crank your neck up and look up. And I think I bought that tie-dyed shirt at the end there. There's an Iron Maiden up there. Always cool stuff. And if you look to the far right, you'll see a little bit of a tie-dye. Here's a better shot of it. Boom. Who 1989 Tommy tour shirt. They had $90 on, and that's about the going, right? So, like I said, you're not always going to find deals up there, but hey, if you are at this concert and this is your size and your wife threw away your shirt or your mom threw away your shirt, here, you can have it back for $90 right there. All right, next tip, find the overall section. It is often hidden. Here's why I say this. I didn't know there was an overall section until only about 5 months ago. I'm like, oh, I never knew this. So here's Stacy being my lovely model. She's actually standing right next to it. And again, not well marked. You really wouldn't know it. But if you look, here's a bunch of overalls. And here's another shot. And if you look at that shot on the right, you do see it says overalls handwritten on the little space divider. So it's a really, really small section at the end of dresses, or actually, I think it's at the beginning of dresses. So, you know, I would always glance through the dresses, and I never noticed what was to the left of the dresses was the overall section. And sometimes you find some men's overalls in there too, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Next tip, sign up for their email newsletter so you know when events are happening, like the dollar sale. Every year on Earth Day, they have a dollar sale and all the proceeds go to a charity. So these are all the things that haven't sold and have run the course in the stores. But for $1, I will definitely take a lot more things than I would have for $10 or $12 or $14. So get over to the website, obviously buffaloexchange.com, sign up for the email list. Boom, you're done. They'll send you when they're having sales or other fun little happenings at your local Buffalo Exchange. Okay, stupid me took the before picture, but not the after picture, but not the before picture. So when they did the dollar sale about 4 months ago, it was all boxes on the ground. So and they had a rope up, and there was probably 30 of us waiting, maybe 40. And so at the dollar sale, here's a little bonus tip. I didn't write it down, but you don't get the luxury of picking and choosing. So I just grabbed the first couple of boxes and scooped. And I scooped a lot of stuff new with tags. They weren't high-end stuff, H&M, things like that. But for $1 new with tags, I'm like, heck yeah, I'll buy that. And I did end up putting a few things back. Stacy was scooping too. We didn't even see each other for a little bit, but we ended up with a whole bunch of stuff. Look, I got nice men's shoes, $1 for a pair. So that red dress was a plus size. I think it was like a 22 or 24, and it was $1, and it was new with tags. Wasn't a great brand, but hey, new with tags dress in a large size, absolutely. Men's leather Italian shoes, absolutely. So that tells me they probably priced them way too high to begin with at the store, and they ended up at the dollar sale. Now look at that. Ann's going to go there on Friday. She never knew there was one in Dallas. So boom. I love it. We want a full report, Ann. A full report. Ooh, I just got an offer on something. Woohoo. All right. Here's a tip. This was a tip that actually I took notes on, and Stacy took the exact same tip. So kind of skip the mall brands. So if you see H&M, even though I just talked about it, Old Navy, Forever 21, American Eagle, kids like that stuff, but there's not a lot of huge return on flipping it. And the majority of the stuff we're buying is to flip. So, there are some cool PacSun things, some cool Volcom things. But for the most part, like I said, though, if you find it $1 a day, yeah, sure. But skip it in general. All right.
Just a Jane's question about the dollar day.
So the dollar sale is like a garage sale. It's like a garage sale when you're waiting for the new iPhone. So everyone's in line. They're all going to run. Or if you've ever been to Disney at Rope Drop, that's the same thing. So yeah, it's a little bit of chaos. But, we spent $40 and had 40 pieces. And the first 2 pieces I sold put me into profit already. So it was perfect. Yep.
And it took us like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And it went so fast, it took us 10 minutes and it was over. So don't show up late. Definitely show up early, get your spot in line, and get ready. Make sure to look all around the store. You never know where you're going to find things that should have been together. Okay, so this fanny pack hanging looks like it has like little yellow dots on it. Is a fanny pack from a company called Hex. And it went with that hat that you see on the other side, which is Lando Calrissian from the new movies, from the movie Solo. So it was the hat, the fanny pack, and a T-shirt went together, and Hex made a couple different sets of Star Wars stuff. So I found the fanny pack, and I'm like, well, that's weird. And what you're seeing there is the little dice that Lando hangs up in the Millennium Falcon, or I actually think Han hangs it up. And then I saw the Lando hat. I'm like, do those go together? So quick research, they do. A little bit more research, I realized they should have a T-shirt. So I looked at every T-shirt, and then I asked the staff, hey, see this graphic? There should be a shirt here. Have you seen it by any chance? And they didn't. But these were still, both the hat and the fanny pack were new with tags. And I think I paid $20 total, and I sold for $79. Had I had the shirt, I would have got over $100 for it. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know when something's going to go with something else. Kind of a thrift store. Sometimes I find a salt shaker here and a pepper shaker way over there. So just got to keep your eyes open. All right, here's another tip. Kind of a what not to do. Sometimes you will see multiples of the same item, and that tends to be items not acquired from people selling their stuff. More often those are, often those are a pass. So I'm not exactly sure where they get some of their stock. I think it might be closeouts at Target or other mall stores. But this shirt, which looked kind of cool because it was embroidered, and I'm like, ooh, $23.50. And I didn't know that brand. And as I was about to look it up, I saw a second one and a third one and a fourth one. And then they were in also different sizes. So I'm like, all right, that wasn't someone just selling their stuff. That was some store getting rid of stuff. Or maybe Buffalo Exchange does some buyouts of, last season stuff. You'll see a lot of that within the stores. There was a time they had a bunch of new stuff, and I don't know if they do the new so much anymore. And they were all different brand names, but there was multiples of them. And I'm pretty sure Buffalo Exchange had their own brand, but it wasn't called Buffalo Exchange. They kind of wanted you to feel like you were just buying like you would buy anything else. But I called on quick because I'm like, why do they have 6 of these in different sizes? Why do they have 7 of these in different sizes?
And they do that a lot with purses and jewelry and stuff.
Yep, purses and jewelry and stuff too. So I try to look up brands owned by Buffalo Exchange, but since they're a private company, you don't really get to see that kind of info. If it was a public company, it'd be a different story. All right, so here's a big tip. Buffalo Exchange is filled with vintage 80s and 90s, made in the USA, single-stitch T-shirts, and that's what a lot of people look for. And, man, Vegas, for whatever reason, has so many so often. So here's some of the brands you're looking for. Pretty much anything made in the USA is going to be desirable if the subject is right and the price is right. But made in the USA is a good jumping off point. These Jersey Super Sweats can do quite well. The Hanes Beefy Tee. And it's vintage for 2 reasons. One, it says made in the USA. But 2, they don't write extra large 46, 48 anymore on T-shirts. So because that was a measurement, and now, Nike's extra large is going to be different than H&M's extra large, so no one puts that on there anymore. Here's a 100% pre-strung cotton made in the USA through the loom. Sportswear. And now it's the made in the USA, vintage, single stitch, and these 50/50s. People are looking for these 50/50 shirts. They don't really make them anymore, but a lot of t-shirts, and this was a sweatshirt with way too much pilling. T-shirts are made with 50% cotton and 50% polyester. And the brand that every collector is looking for is the Screen Stars Best. And it's a real easy tag to spot, and I'll actually show you this whole shirt in a minute. But made in the USA, 50/50. These are the things that people are looking for. And, depending on the subject, I've seen Screen Stars Best used shirts from, 25, 30 years ago sell for $150. Oh, here's a shirt, which I'll show you live and in person in a second. So typically it's fun stuff too on these, and sometimes risque. There's a lot of risque shirts in the 80s. You don't really see them like that anymore. And those risque ones really do well. All right. I think this might be my last tip before we get to selling. Don't forget to have fun and take pictures to share, because I love shenanigans when we're out and about thrifting. So Stacy's got some sexy red boots on because I want her to be taller. I got my little bonnet on, and Raggedy Ann, a bull, and the sunglasses I definitely bought because those are awesome. And if I ever end up at a Pride event, I got my glasses picked out. So have fun. And, Ann's going into Dallas one on Friday, and take a fun picture, pop in the secret beach, enjoy it. Shenanigans. Yeah, Sabrina too. Yeah. All right. So here's recent sales. These are just sold from things I bought from Buffalo Exchange, just to show you. So this Wrangler, the Buffalo Soldiers, couldn't find it anywhere. They had it for $18 at Buffalo Exchange. I knew it was going to be awesome. Lasted about 2 months and then sold for $150. Stacy found these Doc Martens. I think we paid about $12 for them. Sold for $56. This is one of the dollar dresses from the dollar sale. Sold for $16 plus shipping. This Robert Graham shirt was, they mispriced this one. Why it was so cheap, I have no idea. It's 3XL and it's Robert Graham, and I think I had it for like $10. They definitely usually would put like $18 on these. Sold for $42. This Islander tank top, I can't get to the actual listing anymore, so it's the best picture I could do. But it was a vintage 90s, 50/50 made in the USA. They had $5 on it because it was a tank top, and $19. These are Bruce Campbell. If you know who Bruce Campbell is, he's the star of the movies Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. He was in a TV show called Burn Notice. He's in a TV show right now called Lodge 49. These were tennis shoes that were just all his face. And it's sold, as you can see, since it's written in a different language, it's sold directly on a European eBay site. And we paid $16 for them and sold them for, I think that converts into about $55. This was a bitchin' I'm proud to be a farmer shirt. Embroidered. It's got the little farm scene on the back. It's got some little farm scenes on the front. And they only had it for, I think, $8 or $9, and I sold it for $35. Jay Giles Band Tour shirt. I couldn't find a long sleeve version of this shirt anywhere. It was only listed for about 3 weeks. Paid $10 at Buffalo Exchange, sold it for $36.49. This is one of my most favorite ones, mainly because we used the mannequin to its fullest glory. This was a Lee, vintage Lee 2-piece cowboy sport coat and vest that I paid $18 for and sold it for $100. And this is one of the other dollar dresses. I would never buy a Hidden Alley or a dress that looks like this, but it was new with tags and for $1. Cool. Sold for $19 plus shipping. This was a Lucky brand. So this was a co-branded item, Lucky brand, Triumph Motorcycles sweater. Got it for $12. Kept getting these like $20 offers. I'm like, no. Boom, $52. And this Adidas Star Wars, A Force is Stronger. This one, Stormtrooper with the Death Star on the back. Paid like $10 or $12 for this. Sold it for $97, mainly because to find this jacket is not like uncommon, but you can find them, but not in 4XL. So I was very excited to get it in 4XL. And this, so Sabrina, keep eyes open. And I should have fixed this screenshot because this sold for I think I took 100 for it. Michael Jackson World Tour 1988 Nocturne Lighting and Video Crew. So sometimes you'll find crew t-shirts or even jackets. I have never seen an embroidered crew V-neck sweater before, but apparently this is what the lighting crew wore for Michael Jackson's tour. So I found that at the Ventura Buffalo Exchange for about $12. And then Stacy found this purse. I don't remember which Buffalo Exchange it was, but I don't think we paid more than Stacy doesn't usually give me purses more than 10 or 12 bucks. 12 bucks. Sold it for $80. Didn't even know this brand. I think neither of us knew this brand. Stacy was like,
I did a quick look up.
Yeah, Stacy did a quick look up. She could feel the quality of leather and said, "Ooh, we should definitely get this purse." And it sold rather quick too. Just sold this Yankees jacket, $58. Paid 14 for it. I got it here in Las Vegas. And here's a Robert Graham that I just shared that my assistant at the time didn't realize you're supposed to roll the cuff back. But I sold it on UK directly, got $73 for it. I paid $14 at Buffalo Exchange. And this is probably one of my better ones. It'll come up in another slide coming up here, but this was a dress by Carissa Sparkles called Sprinkles on Top. And I sold it for 140 pounds, which ended up being like 165 or 170. And it went to England. And I only paid $18 for that dress, or $14 or $18 for that dress. Now, besides kind of the stuff I showed you, they have tons of awesome weird stuff. So this was a homemade Boys for Beyonce sweatshirt that we saw there on the left. A t-shirt that would rile a lot of people up, I'm sure. And at God, she's black. And look at Stacy's new Friday night outfit. Always weird. Always weird stuff. Now, this is one of my favorites, and they charge too much or I would have bought it. If you don't know what you're looking at here, this is Han Solo and Chewbacca from the sheets that I still own from the late 70s Star Wars sheets. So someone cut out Han and Chewie and just stitched it on a black t-shirt. But that's the kind of weird stuff they do take in, and I love to find. Now, this was on sale day. I absolutely would have bought this. This is a homemade vintage cowboy saloon shirt. I know you're really not going to see it by this arrow here, but there is a stain there. They don't normally take in dirty stuff. It might have come clean, but it was priced at $16, and I don't like to spend $16 to then have to go clean it. But if it's still there, and this one's in Vegas, so it's still there on sale day. Even if it's there on 25% off sale, I will grab it. Now, you may think this is two pair of jeans sitting on top of each other. Nope. This is two pair of jeans that someone had sewn together. So, as I said, and it was priced too much. Again, I would have bought it had been a little bit less because I'm not exactly sure who would buy that, but man, do I like to buy weird stuff. Speaking of, look at this sweatshirt that we bought. Would you please stand up a little bit and model it, honey? So go about that height and then put your arm up a little bit. Now, why someone would do this to a Nike orange sweatshirt is beyond me, but for $12, we could not leave it behind. How amazing is that? Now, so I am going to list it. I don't know exactly how I'm going to call it, but that's the plan. And I came over to Stacy in the store. I go, I know you're not going to like this, but you must put this on because this is awesome. Because you never see stuff like this. Little close-ups. And she said, I'm going to pet the tiger, but she looks like she's dabbing. Touchdown, dab. Okay, so this is a term I coined a long time ago. It's called cart envy. So when you're walking through the thrift store and you look at someone else's cart and you would have wished you would have showed up 5 minutes earlier, that's cart envy. Or someone walks by you, looks in your cart and goes, oh man, I would have liked that. That is cart envy. So there's no carts at Buffalo Exchange. So cart envy is when I see the employees wearing the most awesome stuff. So speaking of weird, this was in Boston. And I said to the girl, I go, did you get that here? She goes, yep, I just bought it yesterday. I'm like, a sweater that says weirdo? Oh my gosh. I so would have bought that. But as you can see, that's where I bought the Carissa Sprinkles dress and 3 other Lord & Taylor vintage dresses. And the girl said to me, she goes, boy, you got good taste in dresses. And I don't know a ton about dresses, but that Carissa Sprinkles I could tell was going to be something special. And I'm pretty good at vintage stuff. So, and I would never ever say I'm a dress expert, but I can, I can do it. I know enough to do some damage. So, guys, any guys who are watching, should definitely check the dress section. Even if you don't know a lot, that one that looks like a pink cupcake with sprinkles should definitely catch your eye and be like, that looks interesting. And again, would have bought these had the employee not bought it. Iceberg is a brand of jeans from the 90s, urban hip hop jeans that did a line of Disney characters. But as you can see in these pastel colors, this is Donald Duck. And I'm like, oh, did you buy these here? And she goes, yep, last week. Oh, she's holding the shirt I'm about to show you. I just realized. All right. So here is my recent haul. So I want to show you what we found recently. This was 2 or 3 stops at Buffalo Exchange. I think 2 here and 1 in LA. So here is what we found. All right, babe. So you're going to stand up. Stand up. Or get the first thing out. Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. See, I haven't thought about how I'm going to do this. Okay, so the first thing is these shoes.
New with tags.
New with tags. They're Vans, but Stacy's very tiny, and so we paid $22 for them. As you can see, they sell for about $35. It was more so for her. So the price was right, especially new with tags, and they look adorable on her feet.
Sure.
All right, next thing. Oh. So I didn't know what this was. I thought this was the Boston Bee. Turns out it's Brooklyn Cyclones. And I don't know if you're going to see the color in the best, but it's definitely more of a pink hue than a red hue.
Fuchsia.
Yeah, fuchsia, great color. And then the B and the C are purple and green. And so I posted it in both my group and then my friend's hat group, trying to figure out why these colors. And I guess these minor league baseball teams can do all these fun colors, but I can't find this anywhere. So I'm very excited that this is probably going to be a really good sale because it was half off when I got this, $6. And here's a normal color setup one that sold for $30. So I'm thinking fashion color, I'm going for $40 or $50. All right, Stacy found this jumpsuit. Still new with tags. So it's funny you should say that, Jenny. Mardi Gras colors? No, Mardi Gras colors are purple, gold, and green. And so everyone kept saying that on both places. But nope, Mardi Gras is purple, gold, and green. So there ain't no fuchsia in Mardi Gras. I mean, there could be, but that's not a Mardi Gras color. So this is a full jumpsuit, new with tags. We paid $22, and it's a 42 long, so it's a specialized size because 42 regular is obviously regular, and someone got $60 for it. So I'm going to put it up for $79.99. All right. Sabrina says Kevin's excited. Thinks she'll get a whole new wardrobe. Okay, so this is pretty cool. If you've been following me for a while, I found these jeans a while back. They're 1970s Cheslin jeans, and they had a cockatoo embroidered on them. Sold them for $48. And this was a while ago. And man, I don't know if I bought the jeans at Buffalo Exchange or not. But when I said, remember that denim shirt up top? Boom! The matching Cheslin denim jacket shirt. So spin it around. Yeah, that's the back.
Ooh, look at that collar.
Look at that.
Ooh.
So I did spend
Brand.
Yeah, I did spend $26 on that. But even doing research, I can't find anyone selling this jacket shirt thingy. So I'm going to price it very high because, these pants would only fit a very specific person. It was a 28 waist. It was bell bottom, thin in the thigh. This shirt jacket will definitely fit a lot more people. All right, so the next thing, okay, again, I love when I can't find stuff. So that's awesome. So the brand's called Unique Vintage. The only recent sold I found was $50 for this jack-o'-lantern. But what we found, or what I found, because I actually found this, I was in the girl section, it is a 2X for a bigger girl, Las Vegas. So definitely rockabilly, definitely Las Vegas, definitely vintage. Good, that's a big size. And they jammed Tiki Bar in there somewhere too. Yep. It's right on the Vegas sign here. See where it says Tiki Bar right there? Boom. You had it up in the right spot.
Okay.
So I did pay $18 for it. I'm going to price it at around $60 because they even went to their website and they don't have this the skirt anymore. Okay, so I don't think Joey is watching, but Javoli men's bib overalls. I'd never heard of them, and they were in the men's section. So new with tag. So show us the tag, baby. New with tags, acid washed. And then I walked over to the overall section, and guess what? 2 pairs, same size. So listing is going to be awesome. And I think, so I paid 17. Last one sold for 35, but they did say blue. Those are not blue, are they?
These are black, gray,
Yeah.
some. Definitely
Yeah.
not blue.
So, and now we're at Halloween time. Someone will definitely buy that to be like a 90s hip hop. I sound so old saying that.
Yeah,
You and your hip hops.
You did. Yeah.
Okay. I only brought this one up because I can't find an identical. So again, I love when I find cool vintage pieces that I can't find anywhere. So this is an Orchids. I forget the brand. Orchids. Orchid Fashions. So this pattern, okay, that's cool. So show the pattern. This pattern has been used on a lot of shirts and dresses. It's the Hawaiian Islands. It's the palm trees. But look it's a jumpsuit. So show the top again. And man, I did a lot of digging last night. I cannot find a jumpsuit like this anywhere. So I'm very excited. I did pay 18 for it. This is somewhat of a similar jumpsuit, but I'm going to throw this up in the Tiki fashion Facebook groups and throw it up for $50 and see who comes a calling. Again, though, it'll be a very specific person who can wear that. Okay, couldn't find the exact dress, so I kind of gave you a little preview. Was there a brand on this one?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the brand was. And Jane said jumpsuits are hot fashion right now. Oh, yeah, that was a made in Hawaii, Hawika. That's why I brought this up. I never heard of Hawika before. All right, back it up. Show us the
cool part's the back.
Show us the back.
You can really tell, but it has the
the big pleat. Yeah, the big train.
Kind of thing.
And so from the same brand in a different color setup, $31. We paid $18. It's definitely orange for fall, so we'll be getting that up soon. Put it up for around $50. Okay, so we thrift this shirt. It's Joki Aloha, which ended up getting purchased by Rain Spooner. And just show the back, babe. So it is cocktails and floral and weird shapes. And I'm like, pineapples. I'm like, I think I've seen that before. Oh, yeah, me. I sold it. Now, I also realized, I didn't realize this then, an assistant put new ? In the title. Oh, my God, that was horrific. So I paid $11. I sold the last one for $35. So, I'll just kind of, I already got, and because I use Ink Frog, I've already got the listing ready. All I got to do is change out the pictures. And then if the size changes and just get fresh measurements and boom, I am ready.
Take out the new question mark.
So when you say you're going to list something high, how high you're talking 3 or 4 times the price you pay? Well, like with that jumper, we paid 18. I'm listed for 50, but I'm hoping to sell it in a group where there's no fees. So usually it's going to be at least 3 times. Now, here's a brand I never heard of, and I passed this shirt by. It was a cowboy shirt. It had embroidery on it, but it wasn't all that exciting to me. And luckily, I went back and looked because I looked up this brand real quick, and I'm like, oh, that brand does pretty well. It's called Howler, and here is the exact shirt. And it's called Pure Agave. They sell it for $90. I'll end up getting about 50 for it. Paid 16, but I want you to write this brand down and learn it, know it, find it, because this one's still in print. Their stuff goes out of print. I just want to show you. Here's one with 2 hula girls that just sold for $235, and the rest are always 100 or above. So Howler is definitely a brand we should be looking for. Okay, every guy who loves Miller Lite should have a Miller Lite shirt for sure.
Or gal.
Well, this is a men's shirt, so
Tie it up.
man, I don't know why it's so not the best feed for you. It's so weird. Oh well. Paid 12. Last one sold for $30. Okay, so I just picked this shirt because there's fish on it. Because I don't know what. There's no brand now. If you recall, I said, "Oh, the girl's holding the shirt." So here it is. Actually, give it to me, Stace. I really want them to see. So it's Fishies. It is vintage 70s polyester, and it's got the coin buttons. People dig the coin buttons. There is no brand, so I have nothing to go off of there, but it is single stitch, and I will be using all those terms in my listing to show how awesome that shirt is. And I couldn't find anything just full Fishies, and people love full Fishies. So I did pay $16. This shirt sold for $30. I am definitely selling. I'm going to sell this shirt for around $50. So I'm going to list it for probably like $65. All right. So Iolani is a brand that we've talked about quite a bit over the years. I haven't talked about it in a while, but this is the higher end line. This is the executive Iolani line. This is what your husband or your dad or your granddad would have wore in Hawaii in the 60s. Or if you ever watch Mad Men and when they went to Hawaii, this is what they're wearing. Show the sleeve, please. Show the tiki on the sleeve. No, other sleeve.
It was the right sleeve.
Yeah, but you flipped it over so you couldn't see it. Little tiki embroidered on the sleeve. And here is the exact same shirt sold for $38, and we paid $15. Again, I'll probably sell this in a tiki group or at a tiki event. Okay, again, item I can't find anywhere, so I just grabbed something similar. Vintage Majestic Notre Dame Fighting Irish jersey. Well, here's the vintage Majestic Pittsburgh Penguins. So back up, babe. So Penguins is hockey, in case you don't know, but this is like a football jersey. And there's often times where you'll buy a baseball team soccer jersey and baseball team football jersey, but I cannot find this Majestic anywhere. So it excites me. It excites me very much. I did pay $15 for it. I'm probably going to list it for $79.99 and see what happens. Ready? Okay, again, Johnny Cupcakes is a brand we have talked about in the past. Here is a Johnny Cupcakes, basically Fat Jordans. There it is. And I paid $12. Johnny Cupcakes. And the last one in gray sold for $30. I can't find anyone selling it in black. Doesn't mean I'll necessarily get more, but if someone's been waiting for a black, I'll be the first one to have it in a long time. Staying in the Johnny Cupcakes tip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who is this before I move on? Because if you didn't know who this was, you might not gravitate towards this shirt. I was excited and then very bummed it was not my size because I so would have kept this shirt. So all those of you who are watching live, who is this? And as you can see, there's a pumpkin. So they were definitely doing this as a time for Halloween time, which is perfect timing because it's Halloween time. So let's see if anyone knows who this is. Who are you? Come on, don't let me down, pop culture mavens. Don't let me down. Woo-hoo. No one? Bueller? All right, so that is, I'll give you one more second. Nobody? Oops. Time's up. That is Leatherface, the main killer in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So very cool shirt. This one sold for, oh, there we go. Jane said, Ginny, not after your time. Ginny, Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in the 70s. And there's been like 7 of them. Now, we did pay $13. The last one sold for $18. I really think they underpriced it. And now it's a year later, so it's not as common. I think this was last year's. And it was a size small. I think we have a medium or a large there. Yeah, it's Halloween. So, yeah, I think I'll do better. I'm expecting to get about $30 from that shirt. All right. Stacy's blind without her glasses. All right, now this one I don't have a comparable. So back up, you're blown out. There you go. So someone took a vintage. Actually, let me have it. I'll take it here. Someone took a vintage T-shirt. So here is Fruit of the Loom, made in the USA. There it is. And then they embroidered California Pride, Gay Pride. But this shirt, based on how black it still is, has never been washed or worn. So someone took a vintage shirt and kind of put a modern spin on it, and I like that. Now, there's nothing to really go off of for a price point, but this was a San Francisco USA T-shirt, LGBTQ Gay Pride embroidered 2000 shirt. So it was kind of along the same lines. $30. I only paid $9, but I think it's super cool. Hey, hold on, put that one down. We're not there yet. Jump ahead. So I think it's cool, and I will price it probably in the $30, $35 range. Okay, now Stacy's so excited to show you. Again, when you find co-branded, back up a little bit, babe. That is Marvel Comics Thor along with Harley Davidson. Here, the Thunder. And it came from Red Rock, right here in Las Vegas. The last one sold for $25, but that was quite a while ago. And I paid $14, and no one has had one up in over a year. So I'm going to put mine up around $49.99. All right, the next item. Now, again, couldn't find the exact shirt, so I just picked a vintage Kentucky shirt. Now, that one only sold for $17. Back it up a little bit. I like this one a lot better. It is V-neck. It's got the stripes around the sleeves. It's vintage, made in the USA. It's cool as shit. If Bridget sees this, she'll probably want it. So I did pay $11. This last shirt sold for $17, but I think the one I have is, oh, hang on, let me put you back on the big vintage jerseys. And so I think I'm definitely going to get around the $30 mark. So again, at least tripling my money. Okay, so Schools Are for Fish is a vintage Screen Stars. Let me have it so I can really see the Screen Stars. Thank you. So this is what I was talking about. This is the shirt I picked up. There is your vintage Screen Stars Best, made in the USA. 50 cotton, 50 polyester. Couldn't find this exact shirt, but the shirt is fun. It's not how you fish. It's how you wiggle your worm. See, a little bit risque. They do get way more risque than that. That's just a little bit risque. But I paid $12 in the last one in that same vein. Sold for $12. But that one's way more tame. Schools Are for Fish. We're talking about wiggling your worm. So we'll definitely get in the $35 to $40 range. All right. Archie Bunker for President. 1974 shirt hanging in Buffalo Exchange. And what's nice is this one is a ringer tee. And the one I have for an example sold for $40 was a plain tee, no ringer. So I like the fact that mine's a ringer, and I paid $14 for it. And they just did that All in the Family not too long ago. So good timing to find that. 1990s Far Side shirt sold for $20. There's the exact shirt. How birds see the world. Little targets on all the humans' heads. And I wanted to show this because, so one sold for $20. The only current active one is $80. And I paid $11. So I'm going to shoot for more than $20, but since someone's hoping for $80, I will definitely be undercutting that $80. Now, I couldn't find, this might be a dud, but I liked it. So Screen Star, yeah, let me have it. Screen Stars Best, again. It is Vegas. And it's Sparkly Eagle Wayne Newton. It is sparkly, right? Oh, yeah, it's definitely sparkly. I don't know if you can see the sparkles at all. Couldn't find this shirt anywhere, so I kind of went with this one. That one only sold for $9.99. I paid $12. This might be my dud, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to price it to make money.
Vegas,
Yeah, so we'll see. No way. Jane went to college with Gary Larson. All right. And big tip, don't assume they know what they have just because they are trained. That was a Stacy tip. So I have shown this shirt before. Here it is in all its glory. My Nirvana Two Virgins t-shirt, which is their direct ripoff of Two Virgins by Yoko and John Lennon. And I have mine up for $5.35. It does have some holes and a little bit of discoloring. But here's what one sold for a year ago, $850. And I only paid $30. So they know what they're doing to a point, and then I know better. Stacy knows how to research to know better. Y'all know better. Let me pop that back up there. Hanes Heavyweight, made in the USA. All right, and then I teased this one earlier. Yazbuki jacket that Stacy found. Look at the price. Yeah. Look at the price. $770. Show the back, babe. So it says Pink Lady on the back. Kind of a takeoff on the Pink Ladies from Greece. Show the, and new with tags. That's very important. Show the sleeve, please. It's got the cocktail on there, and now spin it around to the best part. It was on sale, so it wasn't $20, which I would have happily paid anyway. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. It's $10, and you can't find this jacket anywhere.
And if I remember when I was looking at it, there may be a Lady Gaga connection with this, and I can't remember for sure. But
so, as you can see, tons of good stuff to be found, including crazy price stuff. So when we sell that T-shirt and this item, the $40 we spent is going to turn into over $1,000 for 2 items. 2 items. Okay, now there's the other end of it. Selling to Buffalo Exchange. Here's what I do. I take in my duds, but I take in duds that I know they might at least look at. I won't take in duds that they're like, no, we don't take this stuff. I've shopped there enough. I kind of know their flow. I'm actually often surprised when they don't take some stuff, but regardless, I still take it in. So a couple trips ago, I had like 50 pieces. Took it in here and took it into Santa Monica, Buffalo Exchange. Between the two, they only took 12 of the 50, but they gave me $90. So yeah, because those items I took were things that weren't selling. I tried it on eBay. I tried it on Etsy or Posh. They didn't sell. So now I'm like, all right, can I find a way to get money back? Well, here, these 12 items turned into $90. Okay, so here, I just copied their rules because I figured it'd be the easiest way. Bring in your clothes. They buy from open to close 7 days a week. There's no appointment necessary. You do have to have a valid government ID or driver's license. What they do is they give you 30% of their selling price in cash or 50% in trade. So, for instance, if they're going to sell a T-shirt for $10, they're going to give you $3.33 in cash or $5 in trade. Of course, we always find stuff to flip for more money, so you might as well take the trade and have more bang for your buck. Here's what we buy. We buy men's and women's clothing and accessories in excellent condition, the best of all seasons, all year long. When in doubt, bring it in. We're happy to take a look at everything you have. We're always on the lookout for plus sizes. Now, they say that, but I'm going to talk about plus sizes in a minute. Or did I already miss it? I think I missed it. Men's jeans, they'll go up to 40. They have a little section, but really they stop at 38. There'll always be like 3 things in the 40 and nothing bigger. You can try plus sizes, but I don't see them taking a lot of it. I do find some plus sizes in the ladies stuff. Yeah. They like jeans, they like T-shirts, button-ups, dresses, shoes, sweaters, jackets, shorts and skirts, designer stuff, vintage stuff, jewelry, costumes, and athletic wear. And also, that should say big and tall, not 7. I didn't realize I was already talking about my next slide. So there we go. So also, if you're shopping, I'm like a 40, 42. And so I don't often find pants for myself. I do find shorts, though, from time to time there. Okay, so here's the deal. Busiest selling days are Monday and Wednesday. So if you're going to sell, be there right at opening. Be one of the first ones in. Or if not, you're going to be in line for like 45 minutes waiting for them to look at your stuff. Or just skip those 2 days. And the other tip is the best shopping days are Tuesday and Thursday because, of course, the goodies just came in on Monday and Wednesday. No kids. Now, I don't mean you can't have kids in the store. They don't take kids' stuff. No clothing at all. So don't bother wasting time trying to bring in kids' clothing. Now, what they will do is if you look at the chalkboard behind the 2 girls or the little board on the right, they will tell you exactly what they're deficient in. So although they'll look at everything and take everything, that one thing on the right says we're in dire need of men's tees, designer sunglasses, shorts, rompers, and snapback caps. Very specific. And then the one behind the girls, all we can see is we are now buying spring stuff. So while you're in there, especially if you live nearby, pay attention to what they're looking for. If you've got some of that stuff at home, bring it in. And then if you go right to their website right now, they are saying they're buying for fall. They'll still look at your summer stuff, but they really want good fall stuff to fill their racks because people want jeans, they want sweaters, they want sweatshirts, they want jackets right now. And basically what you do when you walk in is you get in line. So if you're going to sell, I recommend being there right at opening, be the first person there. And if not, you're just stuck in line. If you're with somebody, like when me and Stace go, one of us will stay in line and one of us will go start shopping. And here, they kind of know us. So even when they're looking at my stuff, we kind of go off and shop. Usually you stay at the counter and talk. And I find it works. Not that we flirt with them, but just being fun and chatting with them. They're a little bit, I feel they're a little bit more apt to take more stuff or maybe give you a little bit more money. And they love to chat with you. So if you do want to stay at the counter and you're a chatter, you're going to have fun. Now, I took this picture because I sold that item to them, and they're so on top of their pricing and putting things out. It was out and hanging up before I left. Now, I bought this at Savers for $4, tried it for 2 seasons, like 2 years, and wouldn't sell. And they had a price at 18, so they gave me 9 in credit. So I still made money, and I got rid of something that wasn't selling for me. All right, tip, buying and selling tip in regards to concert T-shirts. Now, I would never, ever tell you to sell bootleg clothes, oink, but if you needed a place to sell some, they're not all that picky. I find more bootleg shirts on their racks than any racks of any store. So this Coldplay Head Full of Dreams, a couple things tell me it's a bootleg. The main one is that the tag's cut in half. That's always a sign of a bootleg. The coloring, if you know this album, that's wrong coloring for that front of that shirt. And I just don't like that graphic on the back. That kind of read me as fake. And this may be one of the most awful Iron Maiden t-shirts I've ever seen in my life. Didn't even have a tag. This is not any true Iron Maiden shirt. So if you happen to have purchased maybe a not so legit, give me some more water, please, concert shirt, they'll probably take and give you a couple bucks for it. So just keep that in mind. Here's another tip. Not live near Buffalo Exchange. You can still sell to them by mail. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this before you've ever shopped at one. I would recommend getting to one, understand the feel, looking at what they have. And then if you don't live near one, you can go to their website, request a bag. They'll send you a bag. You can pack it with 20 to 40 pieces of clothing, drop it with the prepaid label at the UPS store. And as soon as they receive it, they will send you an email to keep you in the loop of what they're going to purchase. And they're either going to give you an in-store trade card, a check, or a PayPal payout. So there you go. So you can even try that. Now, I was going to try that, but I thought it would look fishy if I tried it, and I live 7 miles from one. So what I think I'm going to do is have Mom try it once and see how it works. So are you selling your eBay duds? Yep. Sometimes I'll thrift things on sale day that I'll take right to Buffalo Exchange. Like when it was dollar t-shirt day, I took a bunch of t-shirts in, but it's specifically my duds. And then little bonuses for those of you who live and or near. San Antonio has a Buffalo Exchange outlet. You cannot sell there, but this is where stuff that has run through its course goes. There's not one full store of it. There's 2, because there's one in Nogales outside of Tucson. So if you are in these locations, there are 2 stores that have stuff that's run their way through at a way deeply discounted price. But sometimes it is stuff that was priced too high to begin with, and you're still going to find some sweet ass deals. Okay, and my last tip of this webinar. There are 3 other stores just like Buffalo Exchange. The first and the most plentiful is Plato's Closet. We went to Plato's Closet a couple of nights ago and took some of the things that Buffalo Exchange wouldn't take. We were doing t-shirts, and all they took was 2 t-shirts and gave us $6. No, 3 t-shirts and gave us $6. $2 each. But those t-shirts we paid $1 for at Savers, so we did triple our money. But we did find one good item to put it towards, and we brought it home to make a lot of money. So the thing about Plato's is it is geared towards a younger audience. a lot of teens, early 20-year-olds love shopping in Buffalo Exchange, but they also love the vintage stuff. And then those of us who grew up with that stuff, it's like nostalgia to us. But Plato's is way more 16 to 20. Okay. So no vintage pieces, no need to bring yours in. They won't take any. But they do have less of a clue when they have some gems. And sometimes they will take the junk that Buffalo Exchange won't take. They don't give you as much in cash or trade. So keep that in mind. But if you're nearby, there's one right by the mall, right by Savers, right by the movies we go to. Sure, we'll stop in, look around. We found a vintage, not vintage, a bitchin' Sport Sack, Alice in Wonderland? Barbie. Vintage bitchin' Sport Sack Barbie duffel bag that we got with a discount, ended up being about $12. It'll probably sell for 50 or 60 bucks. And then for Plato's, they're all over the place. Every state you click on, there's multiple ones. So pretty much you're near a Plato's closet. So if nothing else, I would go in and just give it a look-see. Crossroads is another one. They sell to early to mid 20-year-olds, and they're very specific about what they take. They're very picky. They only want these specific brands, and they'll give you, if you walk in, they'll give you a flyer. Here's the exact stuff we buy. So if you can find it at cheap right now, those of you who have teenage kids, you would probably do quite well, because you can take in whatever your kids have that they aren't wearing no more. That's the kind of stuff they'll probably take. But Crossroads is not a great place to shop, to flip, because they price it too high. They price it at top dollar. But they do have the same payment breakdown as Buffalo Exchange. So if you do have stuff to sell to them, they will give you 30% cash or 50% credit. And their locations are across the country, but it's not as plentiful as Plato's. Because it's funny, they say Colorado, Texas, and then areas of the country. So that tells me they're big in those two states and then areas of the country. And then the last one, which I have not been to yet, but if you turn into Thrifty Business this Thursday night, our guests love shopping here. It's called Uptown Cheapskate. I didn't even know about it until I ran into our guest and met her 2 weeks ago. And so these are directly from her. So giving credit where credit's due. Whoa, what happened to my typing? Mature style, like Buffalo Exchange. So they take the vintage stuff. They like that kind of stuff here. They do the same cash as Plato, so a little bit less, but they do the same trade rate as Buffalo Exchange. So, you should always take trade anyway, because you always get more. And located in a lot of out-of-the-way places. And here's what I mean. Now, they're in some major cities like Anaheim, but here's the states they're in. So kind of like Buffalo Exchange, not everywhere. The states in green are the states they are in. Not in Cleveland, Ohio, but in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm like, what? Who goes to Youngstown? But I told Mom, I go, hey, next time you're in Youngstown, and there's one in Canton also, but even weirdly more remote. See that red dot? That is Elko, Nevada. That is near nothing and on the way to nowhere. And for some reason, there is not one in Reno, not one in Vegas, but there's one in Elko, Nevada. Shannon, there was a Crossroads next to Buffalo Exchange of Seattle, or at least the same block. Yeah, I think Portland too. Crossroads is that one we go down to, where we went to the movies. The Buffalo Exchange is on the side street, and then the Crossroads is the one we went down to. And you and I walked around and went, that stuff's too expensive. Yeah. And we split. Oh, and that was it. Ta-da! Sorry, that was really anticlimactic. Yeah. Elko, the end.
Well, that's kind of weird.
So the thing is, you're not learning about new stuff, because the stuff we already all kind of look for in clothing, they have it at Buffalo Exchange. They have it because people have brought it in, and that's what's great. So it's unlike thrifting because it's all been curated. You're going to pay more money, but when you find the gems like the $700 jacket or the $500 t-shirt, it really, really adds nice to your bottom line, and they take your junk too. So don't get depressed when you bring in 50 items and they take 8. Those were 8 things that you weren't selling on eBay. And like I said, when I got $90 for 12 items, that was $90 I wasn't getting back anywhere else. I will absolutely take it. So, and I'll bring in some weird stuff that every once in a while I'm like, I am shocked they took it. So, Jenny says, I think my big takeaway from the show is look for Screen Stars t-shirts. Why was this not on our radar? I don't know why it wasn't on your radar, but it is now. So what I want to do is I'm going to start a post. We're going to call it Buffalo Exchange Experience or Shenanigans. Oh, Shenanigans. And then, so I expect to see Sabrina first. And was it Jane who was going to one? Who was going to one? No, not Jane. Anne. Anne was going to one. So, take some pictures of your finds, put on some fun headgear, whatever. But as you find cool stuff, let's share with each other. We'll keep this directly in the Secret Beach, and let's share our finds with each other. Now that I've done the webinar, Stacey and I will share the cool stuff that we find too. All right. If there's no other questions, I will say that's it. Ta-da! What?
Oh.
So first off, let me thank my lovely Vanna White.
You're welcome as always.
Thank you for being my partner in crime and our lovely model today. Thank you all to those of you who tuned in live and those of you who watch after the fact. Love you too. But if you got any questions about what you saw, feel free to leave it right in the post, right in the Secret Beach, and I'll be happy to answer anything. Great show. Awesome show. Awesome. Thanks for the info. Yeah, I like everything I teach you guys because I like teaching and I like seeing you learn. I like seeing you succeed. But I had fun doing the research. I really had fun putting it together. This is one of the ones that I was just like, yay! That's how I felt every time I worked on it. Yeah. So I was happy to do it. And I'm happy to see what you guys find. So our first two are Anna and Sabrina and Anne. So we'll see how you guys do. You'll be our first two subjects. So I hope you guys find some goodies. And Mom,
Kevin gets a new wardrobe.
Mom, tell the card ladies I said hello. And with that, I'm out of here. We're going to see Baby Metal. If you don't know who they are, look them up and you'll be shocked. See everybody. I'll see you around the Secret Beach. Have a wonderful day.